I'm asked about teeth whitening all the time. I actually never got my teeth whitened. I actually got what they call a smile makeover. It's hands down life-changing. My smile has been something that I was very self-conscious about for years. If you look back on pictures of me prior to 3 years ago, most likely you will see I perfected it. I worked it to the best of my abilities because I just didn't feel comfortable full smile showing my teeth. I hated them. As a teenager, I probably, no, definitely could have benefited from braces, but for one reason or another, I just never got them. I think I didn't realize how crooked my teeth actually were until I was with a friend in I think it was junior year of high school. We were doing a play and we had headshots done. And when I looked at the headshot, I was like, wow, my teeth are real. And I said it out loud. Wow, my teeth are really crooked. And she just kind of looked at me and was like, yeah, you never noticed that? And I was like, I just wanted to run into a corner and hide because I actually hadn't noticed that up until that point. Suddenly, it was all I saw. I went to a couple of dentists to see about getting braces as an adult. I would have to have had, a couple of teeth pulled, and then I would have to have braces put on for a couple of years. And at the time, I was having a baby, gonna be in a couple of weddings. I don't know that braces would have looked worse than, my crooked teeth. I don't know what I was thinking, but for whatever reason, I just never decided to get braces as an adult. It just didn't feel ever like the right time. I had seen other people's results with veneers and I didn't know how many I would need, but I definitely thought it was worth exploring. So I went in for my consultation. I'm all about consultations. Consultations are free, and I needed a lot of veneers. I kind of went in expecting to see a crazy bill and me kind of walk away going, yeah, I can't afford this. But somehow, by some miracle of God, I found out that my insurance would cover half. So basically the whole smile makeover was 4 appointments over the course of 8 weeks. Now let me preface this by, I have never had any dental work done. I had my first cavity at 29 or 30 years old. I've only had one cavity. So to take this step was a little scary. Now, I know this sounds weird because I do consider myself a baby when it comes to pain, but for me, the needles were not that bad. Of course, the sudden shock of it. The needles for me weren't the worst part. If I had to say what was the worst part of the entire process, for me was getting the temporaries taken out. They literally just, they yanked them out. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. But just hearing that crack, 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 that to me was worse than the needle itself, if that's any kind of comfort to anybody watching this. As far as gum pain goes, after I got the temporaries put in, all that needles and all that stuff, the gum pain, my gums were a little sensitive. There was a little bit of pain, but it wasn't intolerable. And again, I consider myself a little bit of a baby when it comes to pain, but it wasn't terrible. I used Sensodyne for when I was brushing my teeth and everything. And after I would say 2 to 3 days, I didn't feel any gum pain at all. Now going back for a second to how white my teeth are. When they were doing the veneers, they asked me, what shade of white do you want? And I said, the whitest you got. But I don't want it to look fake. So she said, all right, so we'll get the lightest translucent white. And that's what it is. So my teeth are white, but they're not opaque white because that looks fake. I was gonna go through all that work. I wanted the most white teeth I possibly could get. So in total, I needed quite a few veneers and I needed one crown for the most crooked of the teeth. And that was this one. I love my crown. My crown feels great. It's my favorite tooth. If you have a favorite tooth, it's my crown tooth. But anyway, they did top and bottom separately. So I went in and I had the top done. They shaved your teeth. She offered to show it to me as she was doing it. I was like, no, thank you. Well, if one of my veneers fall out and I see my teeth shaved, I'm gonna be completely grossed out. But she did warn me ahead of time and told me to bring my headphones, which I did, and it helped a little bit, but you do still kind of hear the whole shaving process going on. And then they do an impression to send it off to the lab to order your veneers. And then in the meantime, while you're waiting for your veneers, they give you what they call temporaries. My teeth had been so crooked for so long that I remember actually looking and taking a picture of myself in the car when I had my temporaries, and I was so excited already because already I could see that my teeth were gonna be straighter. And looking back, it did kind of look a little toothy. The temporaries feel a little bit gritty. I didn't really feel comfortable biting down on them. Like let's say for like a slice of pizza or whatever, I would cut everything. So then you live with the temporaries for 2 weeks. Hopefully they don't fall out. They didn't fall out for me. And then you go back in. So now in the second appointment, they took out the temporaries to put in the veneers. And if I had to say what was the worst part of the entire process, the needles, not enjoyable. The shaving, definitely not enjoyable. But the absolute worst part for me was getting the temporaries taken out. It wasn't until I think like right before my appointment that I realized, wait a minute, how do they get these out? Like I never thought to ask. Like I said, never had any kind of dental work, so I totally had no idea. And so I went in and I was like, do you like dissolve them or whatever? She's like, no, we just crack them. And that's what they do. They crack them. They crack them off. That was the worst part. Just hearing crack, crack, crack. When they put it in, the crown fit absolutely fine. It was a tooth next to the crown that they had a little trouble with. It didn't really fit okay. It wasn't fitting the way it should, so they had to send it back to the lab. So I had to have another temporary put on there, but the rest of my top veneers and my crown was fine. It was just that one. So I had to go back in again when that veneer came in and they put that one in. Then they started working on the bottom and it was the same process. I went in, they numbed my gums, they shaved down my teeth, they put in the temporaries. I had the temporaries for 2 weeks and then they put in the veneers on the bottom. That was pretty much the whole process. It's hands down life-changing to be able to smile big and show your teeth and show fully how happy you are and not have to, you know, politely with that closed smile that I perfected so well. I would hands down do it again. Initially, after I had it done, it was funny because, you know, people take immediate notice to it. They're like, wow, your teeth are beautiful, or your teeth are so white. Like, what did you do? Did you use teeth whitening? I even had one person that I was at an event and she was like, why do you look different? And I forgot. Like at that point, it had been months after I had the makeover done and I literally forgot. So I was like, I don't know. You know, in retrospect, it was definitely my smile and probably my confidence that she noticed. If you look in pictures before I had my smile makeover versus now, my face looks completely different. And I don't think it's because it changed my face so much as it changed my confidence. So that was my experience with my smile makeover. I did not have teeth whitening done. I have veneers and a crown and half of my teeth are not mine and I love it.
But after that, my whole world is beautiful.
So if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen any of my videos before, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button so that we can talk about these kind of topics. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
I really do.